Hello, everyone. My name is Brock King, and today I'll be presenting the debate about the border construction to combat illegal immigration. And I will be taking the stance of why the United States should construct a border wall. So, to begin, constructing a border wall in the United States has been a topic of significant debate, with proponents like myself arguing that it is necessary to our national security as well as a measure to combat illegal immigration. While opinions on this matter vary, I take the stance that the United States should construct a border wall, um, and I'll give my reasons for support of that construction. The construction of a border wall in the United States is often advocated as a measure crucial for bolstering national security. I assert that such a physical barrier would serve as a critical component in safeguarding the national security and the nation against potential threats, both in terms of illegal immigration and broader national security concerns. One primary argument in favor of a border wall revolves around the idea of enhanced border control as a deterrent to illegal immigration. I and others in favor of constructing a border wall contend that a well-constructed wall would act as a formidable obstacle, dissuading individuals from attempting to cross the border. They do this unlawfully, so this point encompasses the idea of strategic deterrence. By creating a more secure boundary, the United States can better regulate the flow of people entering the country, reducing the risk of unauthorized entries. The need for an enhanced border security is a principal argument. An effective border wall would make it more difficult for unauthorized immigrants to enter the country, providing a layered defense against illegal border crossings. A visible commitment to border security sends a strong message to potential wrongdoers, signaling the United States' resolve to protect its interests. This deterrence factor will be key in preventing those with malicious intent from attempting to breach the country's borders, contributing to an overall national security. If nothing is done, the United States can expect to see the current number of more than 200,000 illegal immigrant encounters per month to exponentially climb. This number was taken from the Customs and Border Protection website, and it falls under the Southwest Land Border Encounters that everyone can see for themselves. It includes the following demographics: accompanied minors, individuals in a family unit, single adults, and unaccompanied children. Another aspect often emphasized is the potential impact on national security. I advocate that a border wall affirms a more secure border and as a result would reduce the risk of criminals, drug traffickers, and even potential terrorists from entering this country undetected. I maintain the belief that a physical barrier would enable better control and monitoring of who enters and exits this country, thus enhancing overall national security. National security considerations go beyond illegal immigration, extending to the prevention of criminal activities and potential threats to public safety. Advocates like myself argue that a secure border is crucial in impeding the entry of criminals, drug traffickers, and even terrorists, which is assuredly happening right now and has been for many years. From the Homeland Security Committee article that they've reported, they said in fiscal year 2023, Customs and Border Protection arrested 35,433 illegal aliens with criminal convictions nationwide, including 598 known gang members. In addition, 294 illegal aliens on the terrorist watch list have been apprehended at the southwest border between ports of entry since the beginning of fiscal year 2021. And those are the individuals Border Patrol agents have caught. Not only are dangerous individuals attempting to cross our borders, but potential drugs are too. Last fiscal year, CBP, the Customs and Border Patrols, including air and marine operations, seized 27,293 pounds of poisonous fentanyl coming across the southwest border, enough to kill around 6 billion people. Notably, federal officials estimate that they are only able to seize 5 to 10% of that. So it's quite the stark statistics there that they're only getting less than 90%. They contend that a fortified border would provide authorities with better tools to monitor and control who enters the country, thereby reducing the risk of criminal elements exploiting open borders. This drug culture destroys entire communities and facilitates the coordination of cartel or gang activity. Criminal activity on a large scale corrupts societies and influences the nation's youth to be willing participants in this criminal underworld. Allowing this type of lawlessness to enter our country and threaten our communities is a direct threat to our national security. Furthermore, the emphasis on national security extends to the protection of economic interests and critical infrastructure. As we read in the readings and as well as the lectures, we learned that national security uh, is also part of our economic well-being and to protect the people and its way of life. I suggest that a secure border would prevent the illicit movement of goods and substances, curbing activities such as drug trafficking that can have a direct impact on the nation's well-being. By securing the border, the United States can fortify its economic resilience and protect essential resources from criminal exploitation. Economic concerns play a critical role in support for a border wall. My argument is that illegal immigration puts a strain on public resources such as education, healthcare, and social services. My claim is that by curbing illegal immigration, the strain on these resources would be alleviated, ensuring that public services are available for lawful residents and citizens. To illustrate a clear and upsetting example of how egregious this is becoming, the state of Maine is now paying rent for illegal immigrants in the mid-coast town of Brunswick. So they've allocated $3.5 million to house in brand new apartments more than 60 illegal immigrant families. So why are law-breaking stateless persons being funded with free housing when our nation faces homelessness like we've never seen before? Our own citizens are plagued with financial ruin. It's almost a cruel joke that if you're a struggling American citizen that can no longer pay your bills and you're facing homelessness, you should just falsely claim to be a migrant and enter the country illegally and then be housed freely and abuse our systems for personal gain. We're seeing similar stories across the nation as sanctuary cities like Chicago and New York are being overrun and they're beyond their capacity of being able to reasonably handle, in terms of public aid and social safety nets, that they can no longer handle these situations. It's completely out of control. Um, and again, that these resources should be allocated to U.S. citizens first, and only to U.S. citizens, and not to migrants. And then an interesting point, I won't go into it too far, but I still wanted to address it because it's kind of important that open borders, uh, people who are proponents of open borders and are typically, they love to point the finger at those that oppose that idea, that it must be based on some type of inherent discrimination or like deep-rooted discrimination. But it's not. It's disgusting to say so. Addressing valid points and problems and proposing solutions are not based on discrimination, but to solve this national issue, which is becoming a humanitarian issue. The U.S. is now over $30 trillion in debt. Um, Resources are inherently finite. Nothing is free, and we cannot sustain the never-ending population influx. It's beyond time that countries and their respective citizens around the globe petition their own countries and governments for change instead of overburdening the United States. In regards to national security, it is impossible to maintain our way of life when our social systems are overloaded and burdened with too many applicants and too many recipients. Another unfortunate result of not having to curb illegal immigration is its impact on the job market. It's a smaller point, still wanted to address it because it's important. Illegal immigrants are willing to work for lower wages. This may undercut the job opportunities and wages for legal residents and citizens. By enforcing stricter border control, it would protect job opportunities and wages for American workers. Illegal migrants largely fall under the unskilled labor umbrella, and with such a saturated market for low skilled labor and entry level positions, U.S. citizens without degrees or specialized skills are punished with a hyper competitive job market, and it's just lower and lower pay. So, with all that said, I want to make it very clear that I'm in no way uh, anti-immigration and believe that the United States may even need to make legal immigration simpler or easier. However, as it's happening now with migrant caravans and relentless immigration into our southern border, it's nothing short of an invasion. This poses a threat to our national security and American way of life because if the country takes a massive influx of migrants that do not assimilate over time, or more likely that these groups just straight up refuse to assimilate and never will, their cultures will prevail in number, and our nation's cultures and values erode over time. Not constructing a wall and doing everything our government can to protect our southern border would be antithetical to national security, protecting the people, our way of life, and our economic well-being. The issue of sovereignty is a crucial factor I want to highlight by supporting a border wall. Having control over who enters the country is a fundamental aspect of national sovereignty. I firmly believe that constructing a border wall would signify a commitment to enforcing immigration laws and protecting the nation's borders, reinforcing the idea that immigration should occur through legal channels. Sovereign nations who do not protect their borders cease to become nations. So, in conclusion, the construction of a border wall in the United States to combat illegal immigration is a topic that involves complex considerations. Constructing a border wall will assert that it is a vital component in enhancing national security by serving as a deterrent to illegal immigration, preventing criminal activities, and protecting economic and critical interests of United States citizens. The ongoing debate on this issue reflects the complex considerations surrounding national security and immigration policy in the United States. That being said, constructing a border wall will further protect the United States national security and its citizens. Of course, it won't be perfect, but it is a step in the right direction. Thank you.